Crypto DLT with Mr. Conectr. Be sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell for daily content. Let's go.
Perfect. Our view is we need clarity. Ripple has been fortunate, and we got sued by the U.S. government and had a federal judge say XRP is not a security. We have clarity. Yeah. That's brilliant.
And you got that clarity in the Genius Act.
We did get, the stablecoin market got that clarity in the Genius Act. But the industry, the crypto and blockchain industry in the United States needs the same clarity that Ripple had to fight for in the courts. And I think for this
that XRP is a security.
The XRP is not a security.
Okay.
And that's what the courts ruled very clearly. And so we were very happy to have that. But the whole industry can't live in limbo. And so our argument is the Clarity Act, it needs to get done for the industry to thrive here in the United States.
So how do the rules differ when you're overseen by the CFTC, since the CFTC will oversee non-securities and the SEC will be in charge of securities?
Correct. So if something's a security, you have all kinds of obligations because if you own part of a company, it's a security, then you get dividends, you get right, title, and interest to governance rules, who you elect to the board of directors. That's not true in the crypto industry. And that's, I think, the false narrative that the Biden administration, the war that the Biden administration waged on crypto, ultimately failed in the courts. And I think it failed the United States, failed the people of the United States. And I think trying to push it into a securities framework that was developed literally 80, almost 100 years ago never made sense. And I think the courts have clarified that. And if we get the Clarity Act passed, I think the whole industry can continue to thrive here.
Yeah, it's Mr. Conectr. What's going on? How are we doing today? I am back streaming. Good to be here, guys. Hope you guys are doing good today. Yes, we're still in crypto. Yes, we're still hanging around. We're still trying to figure out this space. We're still waiting on crypto clarity. Cool. Let's get it going. How we doing in the chat? We got Silver Days already up in the chat. What's up, my friend? As always, come on, let's get it going. We want to check out the Conectr coins right quick, and we'll get into the news in just a second. Past 24 hours, XPRT is up the most. Sentinel, P2P. I don't know if you guys saw my last stream. Hell, it's been a few weeks, but I was talking about the privacy coins, and I did go in on this Sentinel. Peer-to-peer is the ticker, P2P, because it was 4 zeros and a 3 when I got into it a couple weeks ago, because we keep an eye on the where are we at? The privacy tokens. Let's get to the privacy tokens. We saw that they were starting to take off. And yeah, it shows here up 10, almost 11% on Sentinel. That's that decentralized VPN, peer-to-peer VPN on the Cosmos chain. What else is popping off on the Conectr coins? Yeah, it's a slow day. Crypto had a little pullback. Let's see how this new camera angle is working. Hope you guys can deal with the camera angle. I like how it's kind of shining upwards and it shows my ceiling. Kind of cool how it shows the lights on the ceiling, the track lighting. Yeah, pullback. Let's see what's dead the most in the past day. Energy Web, Sologenics down. There is a swap going on. COREUM and Sologenic are teaming up, and we talked about this about a year ago, about how they were where's my camera? There it is now. How they were talking about joining up forces, and they are going to be TX. I don't even know if there's a ticker yet. That's from the Texture Capital, TX, but they will be joining forces and be the TX token. But yeah, there is a major pullback on those two. And Pulsar is in that mix as well. They are the DAX for that TX token. Cool. Let's keep it going. Top crypto gainers and losers today, past 24 hours. Pippin ranked 63, Pippin, Pimpin. Not pimping, but pipping. Just JST is up and Ether.fi is up. All right, we'll get to the news in just a second. Made in America cryptos. Don't forget about Made in America. Digibyte had a run. They were, what was it? Berserker were saying on the boardroom yesterday, or the coffee time yesterday, about, what was it? Arizona putting Digibyte and XRP in their strategic reserve. Thought that was very interesting. Qual Network, QUAI Network, and Aegon Cloud. American cryptos. Of course, XRP number one on that list by market cap. And back to the privacy tokens. ZK Link is doing the best. And there's our Sentinel peer-to-peer VPN coin. Decentralized VPN, that's important, guys. You know, most of these VPNs you guys are dealing with, they keep records. They keep a track of who logged on, or what IP logged on to what other IP, you know. And then that can be subpoenaed, right? Not to say we're doing anything wrong. We just like to have our privacy, our freedom of privacy. What other cryptocurrency sectors are popping off? Top gainers for the sectors. Tokenized treasury bills up 47%, and this VPR coin, Vapor Fund, is pushing that entire sector up. Vapor Fund. I'm not familiar with a lot of these. You got 0002, not a bad price, depending on how many coins there are. $24,000 market cap is all. Wow. That is it. Unlocked market cap 275,000. Anything under $1 million, I kind of see opportunity. But that's why it went up so much, 45%, because there's nothing in it yet. So a lot of this can be misleading. We've got 1 billion vapor supply. Not many options for American markets. We'll keep on moving. Just like to take a quick look. Today's calendar. Let's see if there's any projects we're interested in. Here's Tron, has a $172,000 token buyback. I think they had the same supply as like XRP Tron. I like Tron. Space airdrop. Next round unlocks. Get ready to tap claim for the airdrop portal for the space ticker, SPACE. I was thinking yesterday, guys, I can't wait to make some yield on XRP. I've got some other tokens that I've been making yield on, like especially XPR. What is it, like 4.4% in your WebAuth wallet? But I can't wait. You know, there's been all kinds of ways to make money just by getting into this space and participating and using these coins. I've gotten all kinds of airdrops over the years. I don't know what this airdrop mechanism is. Pool allows to contribute OFT for token burning. ZebekNet, built with World Mobile Team. Oh yeah, I forgot they were working together. Launches the global eSIM and real-time payments. All right, Zebek making moves. Powered by World Mobile Team. Let me make sure I follow. I thought I already followed them. You got to be careful with double following because you might be following a lookalike account. Decentralized mobile network where eSIM connectivity meets real-world spending. Global eSIM. Real-time payments. Early access begins tomorrow for thousands already on the waitlist. ZebekNet. Launched February. What is that? I know they're on Solana. Is that their own chain? ZebekNet, powered by World Mobile. And why is World Mobile powering ZebekNet? I would think it would be Zebek, would be World Mobile using ZebekNet. So I assume this is their actual blockchain coming out tomorrow, maybe? Not sure, don't follow Zebek too much, but definitely need to. Lots of talk in the community about Quebec. Let's look at, we were talking about getting yield. Let's look at those loan markets. We've got only $40 million in loan markets on the XPR network. Here's your XRP that's locked up on loan. You're only getting 0.22 because there's not a lot of borrowers. They're actually paying people to borrow XRP, right? Not a bad opportunity there. Pay you to borrow it. Especially if you think we're about to go up, you know, might be worth borrowing it. Once it goes up, then you can sell most of it and get the collateral back and then keep the profits. All kinds of ways to make money. I was looking into the bot, what's it called? Where you liquidate people's loans. You know, they put up their collateral, and if their loan goes below zero health, you can buy that. You can go in and buy their loan position, and you get all their collateral, and you get it at like a 10 to 15% discount, buying all their collateral up. But most of that is bots that act quickly. So yeah, I was looking into maybe installing a bot to do something like that. Lots of opportunities in this space. And especially right now, guys, when we've got AI where you can ask AI how to do things, right? We can do anything we want. And don't forget, you've got the XRP Ledger has came to the WebAuth wallet. So right now I could use the XRP Ledger on WebAuth, but it's not tying in. I tried it last night. It's not tying into my @ name. It wants me to create a whole new @ name. So I guess you can use it as a different @ name. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to tie it in or not. We'll see. Speaking of XRP rewards, let's see how much Flare has locked up now in total value. 161 million. It was 120 a couple of weeks ago when I streamed last. So some uptick there. Let's take a quick look at CoinMarketCap articles today. I like to look at CoinMarketCap. They've got all kinds of stuff on there. I've been using several different ones, but I'm back to CoinMarketCap again. Solzilla meme coin. I was looking into this Pi network, guys. Rethinking mobile mining with Pi networks, unconventional path to decentralization. And I do have a really cool video that I did last night on blockchain mirroring, and Pi network is one that will do that mirroring. Look that up on Grok. There's a couple that are doing it. I researched the holochain network, that unit accounting. I did a video on that where they can mirror all these coins on different blockchains. One blockchain can mirror the other, and that reduces the need for your oracles, anything like trustless or trusted. You have to trust like an AI agent to go out and get the prices off another chain. Well, you don't even have to do that if you can just mirror the other chain, and there's no smart contracts involved in mirroring. So that is something that's under talked about, but Pi Network is in that mix as well. Rethinking mobile mining. So we're back to mobile mining on your phones. There was talk back in the day about how attractive proof of work was that doesn't actually mine. So like intensive mine, so efficient mining is what some of these chains are working on. And it's still technically proof of work, which back in the day, they were talking about how appealing that would be for regulators, but I don't really think that matters now. Proof of stake might matter because you've got concentration of wealth, whoever owns the most votes on it. That might not be so attractive to a lot of the regulators out there. So hopefully they can get the Clarity Act passed soon and get some stablecoin rewards. I hear there's a compromise on the stablecoin rewards. You know, we'll see what that is. I mean, how far the bank's going to be able to compromise when they only give us what, 0.1, 0.1, 0.2% on our savings now. And the other battle that I was talking about was the one nobody seems to be discussing. They're also debating on whether to let public markets be issued directly on public chains instead of being issued directly on the back end private centralized DTCC ledger. And is that going to be where all the value is? On the back end private ledger versus the public ledger. But that comes into play the difference between private and public markets, right? The private markets can be on the public blockchains and have their own rules. But I guess, the safety of the blockchain means everything with that. Or are we going to depend on the DTCC and the clawbacks and the regulators on the back end? You know, what's going to be more attractive, public markets or private markets? I feel like private markets are going to just take off in this new space. We've seen the new stock market coming to Texas, the digital stock market. Okay, we've got total crypto market cap, 2.21 trillion. Ooh, I thought it just dropped down while we were streaming. I think it was 2.22. You got to kind of just take this space as it is. We know that we don't get the extraordinary gains without the big pullbacks. And it's a volatile space. I mean, look at this crypto market cap. This is all-time it does go back to 2014 is all. Ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. So what's next? Do you think that this whole space is going to, this line that I'm drawing with do you think it's going to just pull back down? Or do you think this nascent industry is going to continue to have more traction into it over time? So hopefully we pull up from here a little bit is all I'm trying to get to. How about the market cap the dominance, market cap BTC dominance is going, it's down a little bit, and that's good. 58%. I think, this is the last time I streamed right here, 65%, down a little bit. We want to see that drop down because we like these utility coins, right? These chains that actually do something. What's up, everybody watching? I hadn't streamed in a while, so I don't expect many viewers, of course. And I'm on a lunchtime on a Monday, so good to see Silver Days in the chat. Thanks to all the new subscribers who've been subscribing on my little break here. I'll get back to streaming regularly. I battle with am I good enough? Is the information valuable enough for the community? But I struggle with my confidence on streaming, and it's a big deal. These YouTubers get out here and on the interwebs and put your face on here and stream and talk the entire time. Good thing I usually have a pretty good chat rolling. Here's gold, $5,208. It looks like it's back up to about the all-time high. Looking good. How about silver? I hadn't tried to sell any silver. I went to a pawn shop a couple weeks ago when silver was at 117, I think. So I went to sell it at all-time high. And at the pawn shop, I had never dealt with this place. I have never tried to sell any silver. So for anybody that's got any tips on selling it at the best prices, I might need to contact my original company and mail it and get insurance and mail it. I don't know how that works, but I went to sell the bar. I think it was a 10-ounce bar, a little small bar. It's crazy. technically spot price, that's $1,170 for that little small bar, 10-ounce bar of silver. That guy asked me how much I wanted for it. I said, I know you got to resell it or whatever. So I thought I was giving him a good deal. I said, spots $17 an ounce. So that makes this bar worth $1,700. Or actually $1,170. So I said, I know you got to get, your side of it. You got to make a little money. So I'll give it to you for $1,000 even. And he said, no, whoa, you're not anywhere near the ballpark. And I'm like, what? He said, no, you're not. He said, he just threw it back. He didn't even want to deal with me. He just slid it back across the counter. What's going on with my mic? It's clipping a little bit. Yeah, he just slid it back across the counter and didn't want to deal with me. He didn't even want to go back and forth, so I just grabbed it and left. And it would have been nice, though, because we had that pullback. It was like the next day it started to pull back. I almost timed it just right if I could have sold it. But, that's a pawn shop. Those guys are used to buying and selling, people that have to have the money right away, So they're willing to, go way down. But see, I don't get that because I was giving them $170 discount from spot. And he can sell it over spot. So they get it both ways. He could have got it under and sold it for over. Because you add on, they always add on to it to sell it, their fee. It's wild how it is. If this stuff was legal tender in every state, we wouldn't have that problem. We'd be able to take it to a bank, right? And get the actual price for it, I would think. Flash Dash, where meme culture meets interactive NFT utility. We'll click on that one. CDeFi. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot about CDeFi. Combines centralized finance with decentralized finance. What's up, GDLT1? Good to see you, brother. Unlocking Bitcoin's idle potential, the CDeFi evolution. We're just going through some articles here. DAO base, the aggregator defining DAO reputation and transparency. Daniel Dixon said 2025 was going to be the year of the DAO, and it never really happened. Aggregator defining DAO reputation. That's good to have aggregators so we can all choose and find the best sources. AI-related market disruption costs traders $1 trillion. AI-generated illustration. AI-related market disruption costs traders $1 trillion. Traders have incurred $1 trillion in losses as AI technology disrupts tech companies, drawing in dumb money. The AI robots are out there, guys. Be careful. Here's an alert. XRP flips Bitcoin and ETH in important sentiment metrics. Sentiment strength emerges as Bitcoin and Ethereum face rising retail pessimism. Social data shows traders, God, I can't read today, shifting confidence away from Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, is this the beginning of the flippening? I know I've been saying that for years, but I mean, there's a lot of Epstein stuff going on with this Bitcoin and Ethereum, so I'm pretty sure there would be a lot of people kind of getting into the real deal, as we would say. Let's look at Crypto Panic. Let's see if there's any good articles before we move on to our bookmarks. Dollar stablecoin for Gaza. Trump advisors' proposals draw scrutiny. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of scrutiny over that. What they say was going to try to make it into a smart city. And they're going to have their own stablecoin. Wow. Probably BlackRock will be in charge of that. GDLT says, flip the switch. I know, man. We want to see this stuff in action. What's up, IBD Cartel? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, I'm finally back streaming again, buddy. Ripple CEO, $3 billion acquisition waves meant to bridge TradFi and DeFi. Another acquisition by Ripple. What did they buy? They're buying up the entire infrastructure. Ripple spent nearly $3 billion on acquisitions to build institutional crypto infrastructure. The strategy focuses on bridging traditional finance systems with decentralized finance networks. Ripple will prioritize the integration of recent acquisitions to strengthen XRP ecosystem utility. It's all about making XRP, finding use cases. I think this is just kind of looking back on all the acquisitions. They acquired Medico. It's a good little rundown for us. 2023, they got Medico, strengthening its ability to securely hold institutional digital assets for, and then they added standard custody, reinforcing regulated custody offerings for enterprise clients. They bought Hidden Road, Global Prime Brokerage Platform. Global Prime Brokerage. So I'm still trying to figure out all these public and private markets. The DTCC wants to run and issue all the value on their private back-end centralized chain for public markets. How does Prime Brokerage? Well, you got to have a broker to access the public markets. I am not sure about private markets. I mean, I know companies can issue their own stocks, and they should be, and I'm sure they're issuing it privately on blockchains. But do they need to go through a broker for? Do the customers need to go through a broker for that? I'm not sure. But I can definitely see the value of putting your asset, your security, on a public chain versus handing it over to the DTCC so that they can create a derivative of your security, put it on their back-end centralized ledger, private ledger, and then tokenize that token on a public ledger. They say they'll give it to you in any wallet you want. So the peer-to-peer, me and you, or even the company itself, they're going to give it back to you. So what it is they're mirroring. I've been researching this. One blockchain mirrors the other. Their back-end centralized ledger will mirror our front-end public chain. And vice versa. It has to go both ways, back and forth. We'll be trading on the public chains, these centralized issued stocks, but they'll be looking at it with their private chain on the back end, and the state will be updated. But don't forget, the public chain is an issued asset that they have control over as well. So there's back-end control over the public chains, and that public chain's working, trading stocks, and its state is referenced back to their supreme ledger on the back end, their private supreme ledger. It is a wild system that I'm looking at. And they're doing that for redundancies. They're doing it for safety. They don't want to let companies issue their own stocks. But that, again, that's public versus private. And how appealing is it going to be? And that's all just securities, you know. And the laws involved in that. I'm sure the ETFs have to be public, right? I would think. They got G Treasury. Don't forget the G is very important in that old Masonic mess. The G, that's a big deal. The big symbol is the G for the Masons. They seem to be involved in everything. Ripple Prime offering multi-asset clearing, financing, and brokerage services previously unavailable directly to the crypto sector. This is very unique, this Prime brokerage. And of course, they got the G Treasury back. Interesting that they had to buy this G Treasury acquisition. So you had some, what is it? You had several players inside of it create their own company, create their own stocks, and then their Ripple buys it. It's a pretty wild strategy, but important for both sides, the people who created it and Ripple. But they're also employees at Ripple, probably. She's Burlow isn't big on that. And then they got Rail. Finally, the company added Rail, a stablecoin payment technology provider, and Palisade, a wallet technology firm. Yeah, I forgot about the Palisade wallet. Cool. Let's switch over to X Pro and look through our bookmarks. Interledger Foundation hiring. So they are still going, guys. Back-end engineer. They're hiring a back-end engineer. They want to build a cryptographic foundation that real-world payments depend on. So Interledger is not dead. At Interledger, you'll architect the root of trust behind Interledger cards and POS, point of sale, sorry. So that's important for Interledger point of sale payments. Designing high-performance security critical systems for the ground up. We're looking for expertise in Go routines, channels, weight group, high concurrency services, cryptographic, key management, thread safe, low latency system design. This might be for somebody in the community who might be interested in the Interledger back-end engineer. I just wanted to show you that it was active. And also I went to Grok and looked up Interledger Foundation. I wanted to see how they were funded. It's a nonprofit organization established in 2019. I thought it was earlier than that. Maybe not. By Coil Technologies, formerly with Ripple CTO Stephen Thomas and Ripple Labs. It serves as a vendor-neutral entity to advance the open-source Interledger protocol, the ILP, for interoperable, inclusive digital payments. The foundation primarily funds itself through an initial endowment associated with commitments tied to its funding and early programs. So they got $100 million from Coil, $100 million endowment fund, largely originating from the Grant for Web Initiative was the name of it. Grant for Web Initiative, $100 million commitment in 2019. Funding came from Coil and Ripple. So I guess they still have some money left over from that, or they put it into the right asset. So who donated to the Grant for Web Initiative? It just says Coil. It was established in collaboration with two key founding partners, Mozilla and Creative Commons. Oh yeah, don't forget about Mozilla, open source. What is that? Firefox browser, Mozilla. I hadn't used that in a long time. That used to be my go-to, Firefox. Chad Soundgrabber says Goldman Sachs already owns XRP through several funds. The rest will follow and purchase the existing funds, or they will create their own, like BlackRock did. Okay, let's look at this. So this is Goldman Sachs. Looks like they've got into some ETFs. Solana, Van Eck, 21 shares. Solana. Okay, here's Bitwise ETF. Q4 2025, 1.9 million shares of the Bitwise ETF. Let's look at our ETF terminal. And look at the Bitwise ETF. How much does it cost? $15 a share. And they own 1.9 million shares. Wow. Franklin Templeton XRP Trust, Grayscale XRP Trust. They own all these. 21 shares. So you've got a little diversification by Goldman Sachs into Solana and XRP. Smart on them. World Liberty depeg. The USD1. World Liberty Financial USD1 started depegging. This was today, I think. Yeah, this morning. New major investigation dropping February 26 on one of the crypto's most profitable businesses where multiple employees abused internal data or insider trade over prolonged period of time. This is from Zach XBT. I think he's kind of looking ahead there. I'm not sure what happened, but Blockchain Daily reposted. World Liberty Finance says USD1 targeted in a coordinated attack, alleged hacks of co-founders, paid influencers, large WorldFi short positions. No telling what's going on with that. Trump's WorldFi. I try to follow that USD1 a little bit because I know that a lot of times that's where the value goes, where the new, if there's a new stable coin on a chain that brings a lot of market cap, there's going to be, the other coins are going to go up, you know, that are paired with that. That's obvious. So I try to follow it a little bit. But it didn't look like it's depegged that much. I mean, DAG on it's still 99 cents. So what, I mean, it went down to 90 though. It looks like it came back up. Stable coins, nothing stable, guys. That reminds us, nothing in the world is stable. Everything is a market. You know, they try to peg it the best they can, but things do happen. Things do unpeg. Now look at the Hong Kong dollar. It's pegged to the United States dollar, right? Flare Network says soon. Transparent XRP yield on-chain observable paid in FXRP directly from your XRP Ledger wallet. Soon. So I'm waiting on that before I get into the Flare system. We'll see how that works out. Update from Crypto.com secures conditional OCC approval as it moves forward, becoming a federally regulated U.S. bank. Crypto.com. It's a milestone for them, gaining conditional approval. That's, you know, Ripple got their conditional approval as well. So see what happens with those two. Oh, I wanted to show you this, guys. You know, a lot of these accounts that have all these followers. If I can open this up larger, it won't let me. Look at that bot farm. This is insane. So all these, every one of these cell phones are a different YouTube account. And they're selling views, but they got caught. I wonder what kind of laws are actually in place in the jurisdictions on this. We got X Finance Bull saying SBI of Japan just announced a $10 billion yen on-chain bond with XRP rewards built in. Retail investors fixed rate blockchain settlement XRP as a reward layer. This is what mainstream adoption actually looks like. Not a headline. A product regular people can buy. Japan gets it. XRP rewards. That's huge. We knew that was coming on SBI. Jack the Rippler, you know, this is a very hypey account, but he says, Fitzgerald says that there will be some decentralized banking products out there. And he didn't say XRP. I don't know why Jack throws it in there. that need to be integrated into the banking system. Let's check this out.
I have a bill that actually is going to come up in financial services that would, I think,
The headline there says, if we don't do crypto, China will do it.
help kind of advance the idea.
That they need to listen to that on the stablecoin rewards, because the I keep looking up here from my camera. We're right here now. The Yen, the Digi Yen is offering stablecoin rewards. Communist China is offering their citizens rewards on their stablecoin, and we're just debating it, whether we're going to do that or not. Don't forget that. That's how bad it is here. That's the stranglehold. Everybody's got Stockholm syndrome on the banks and how bad they are, and we just think it's normal business around here.
That there are some decentralized banking products out there that need to be folded into this stuff. I mean, it's kind of like we're having this discussion about crypto, but at the same time, you have to integrate some of the real life banking that is going on in the country. Yeah. So I'm hopeful that this bill passes and it creates kind of a pathway for this. I have a bill that actually is going to come up in financial services that would, I think, help kind of advance the idea.
Let's get it advanced. Let's go. We're tired of waiting, aren't we, guys? All right, cool. Let's keep it going. This is an older one, I think, from another hype account, Jack the Ripper again. Newsmax discussed live the potential use of XRP to pay off national debt. I don't think he says XRP. Well, it says it's got an image of XRP. Let's see.
National debt. $348 would have purchased 1.7% of the total supply of Bitcoin at the time, and today would wipe our balance sheet clean. Imagine they'd done that for Social Security too.
Could have run a little Bitcoin check. Maybe they'll write an XRP check.
Because crypto is worth what people think it's worth. Simply because.
Oh yeah, and while I'm thinking of it, I covered that holochain unit, that new unit thing, and when I was reading in there, it allows you to take an escrowed account, like imagine the Ripple, all the XRP escrow, and you can collateralize it onto unit and spend it. They can already use it with it still being in escrow. They can divvy it up and actually use it, trade it back and forth, and it updates the state whenever the escrow is released or whatever. It is wild.
People are buying it, and like a Prada bag that costs $50 to make and sells for $5,000, supply and demand. Could the government theoretically, I don't know, take 1/5 of our annual tax revenue, which is about $1 trillion, and put it into an emerging cryptocurrency like, I don't know, XRP, currently trading around $2.50? That would explode the value of that coin. Right now, the total market cap of XRP is $144 billion.
That's right. He did say XRP. That's a good idea, my man. He must be listening to us.
Dollars in total circulation. This would multiply its value by a factor of 8, essentially returning the government $8 trillion overnight. Want to get aggressive? They could dump it, crash the market, buy it right back to it all.
Yeah.
Pay off the
Yeah. What kind of contracts are out there already for that escrow? Any kind of pre-sales? What's up, Jeffrey Dahmer's Ford effing Ranger Conectr in the hizzy? Yes, sir. Good to see you, brother.
national debt by Saturday. You see, the government can't control crypto like it controls banks and the bogus Federal Reserve printing money out of thin air. Ronald Reagan said, famously said, that the government operates very simply. If it moves, regulate it. If it stops moving, subsidize it. If you can't do either, ban it. He didn't know about blockchain. Reagan didn't know about the fourth option. Become what you seek to control. The government's only option to actually have any seat at the table in any type of control over crypto is to participate in it. If you own it, that's great for you. It's going to be worth a ton. After all, we just print money, buy crypto with it. That's why crypto's here to stay.
Yeah. Well, that's what they've been doing with Tether. This mic sounds like it's clipping. print fake money to buy fake tethers. It's brilliant.
Is the answer to make sure that even if we do lose a tooth on the zipper again, it doesn't matter. But more importantly, the value of that seamless zipper could be the trick to wipe out the country's national debt. Print money, devalue the dollar, explode crypto investment, sell it.
Print money, devalue the dollar, put it into crypto, explode crypto, sell it. And, you know, you had Russia come out. I think the, who was it? The ambassador for Russia was talking about how the U.S. has done it before. They're doing it again. Devaluing the dollar. That has benefits. A cheap dollar, Trump said it a couple months ago, a cheap dollar has benefits. That means any loans you've got out, they're cheaper to repay. It's just like if you borrow a crypto and it goes down, that crypto, it costs less to repay it. Interesting concept. We'll see if that's the plan. I don't know. We shall see. I'm hoping that it is. I'm hoping that it's going to be used and maybe divvied up between these countries because it is a global reserve asset. It looks just like a global reserve asset. In all these different countries, you need that Bancor bridge asset. If that's the way we're going. Global public markets. And it looks like the national markets for like securities they're gonna give in on the issuing it on the back end centralized private ledgers. So hopefully they get it all worked out, guys. I mean, where's the value? Is it going to be at the back end private ledger? And then they give you a derivative of a derivative in your wallet? Or is the private markets going to be better, where the value actually sits on the blockchain? Jeffrey says the HOW would be a monster. Stack now. The HOW is way below all-time lows. Yeah, I love these good gifts out there. The HOW is a great blockchain. The HOW and Evernote runs on the HOW. Good stuff, guys. Don't forget about Metallicus. XRP ledger is now running on the WebAuth wallet. XPROG says some people are asking why Metallicus isn't sitting at the White House meetings. Here's something important to know. The Federal Reserve Financial Services and Metallicus will be at America's Credit Union's Governmental Affairs Conference, March 1st through 5th in Washington, D.C. You know, there's a whole thing back in the day, people were talking about how it's going to go back to the states. Well, if it goes back to the states, you know, where the states have their own ledgers, you know, Metallicus is working with the credit unions, local credit unions under the NCUA, the National Credit Union Association. That's not the Federal Deposit Insurance, FDIC. There's two different sectors there. Credit unions are different than national banks. And Metallicus is definitely setting them up where they can have their own independent blockchain. This is the biggest meeting of credit union leaders and policymakers in the U.S. It supports more than 144 million credit union members. FRFS runs FedNow. So the credit union needs to go back and run through FedNow, of course, without having the FDIC insurance. They've got the NCUA insurance. The instant payment system. FedNow instant payment system. Don't forget, FedNow is a pool. You can send, I think Uphold's already using it. So if I withdraw from Uphold, say, they send it directly to the pool, to the FedNow pool. And from the FedNow pool, it's sent to my bank. It's not a direct transfer. It goes through that pool. That way they can have their controls. There's a lot of issue about control, back-end control going on, whereas blockchain really controls everything itself. That's the real battle. How much of this stuff are we going to let blockchain control, and how much is going to be centralized? We shall see, guys. I think I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good to be back streaming again. We'll see you on the next one. Mr. Connector out.